Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome wherever you may be in the world and whatever time it might be where you are. This is the Employability and Co-op presentation. My name is Rob Finlayson, and I'm joined by my colleague Kevin from our Co-op and Career Services office and from one of our former students, Anushree, who completed 3 co-op terms and is now working here in the city of Ottawa. And together, the three of us are really excited to talk about something that I think is a little maybe surprising for you guys because I know you're sitting here today thinking about applying to university and we're talking about life after university. But I'm thinking it's a really important topic to delve into because it's never too early to start thinking about the world of work once you finish your studies. And it's also an exciting topic for us at Carleton because we consistently rank in the top 10 for all of Canada for graduate employability. And this is something that we're really proud of, and it's something that we've accomplished year in and year out. There are many ways that we are able to achieve this ranking for our students, and I think we're going to talk about all of those today. But it's important that you guys consider this as you start your academic adventure because there are many different types of experiences at Carleton that will allow you to build your resume as an undergraduate student. The big one is co-op. This is where you'll be able to work and study, and we're going to talk about that in greater detail. But beyond co-op, there are many other ways you can get experience, which would include internships, which is something built into a program where you can actually enter the world of work and gain valuable experience while studying. Carleton also offers undergraduate research funding plus research placements. This is actually pretty unique. So if you're interested in getting research funding to do work as an undergraduate student, Carleton can help you with that as well. And of course, beyond that, across all of our degrees, whether you're studying an arts degree, a business degree, an engineering degree, or a science degree, you'll have a lot of opportunities to be out in the field, getting your hands dirty by experimentation, group work, project work, practicums, many different types of activities that will bring you into different contexts where you'll work collaboratively with peers and you'll gain really valuable experience that adds a lot to your degree as well. And as I say, with a top 10 ranking for graduate employability, the vast majority of Carleton students, 96% plus, are able to find meaningful employment within a year of graduating. And this really speaks to how I think employers value and view Carleton graduates. Um, One other option we offer, this is quite a unique one as well, is through our dev degree program. Carleton has partnered with e-commerce platform Shopify, which of course is based here in Ottawa. Through Shopify, computer science students are able to potentially apply for and obtain a spot where they would both work at Shopify while completing their undergraduate degree, have their tuition covered by Shopify, and be able to create this duality of completing a degree while working simultaneously. So quite an innovative option that's available for our computer science students and something you might be interested in learning more about if you're applying to that degree. I will pass this over to Kevin to talk about our co-op program.
Great. Thanks so much, Rob. Hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be speaking with you all about the co-op program. So the co-op program at Carleton is the third largest co-op program in Ontario. We're a rather large machine of individuals that help and support students throughout their co-op journey. We also have a huge team of individuals that are out there working with employers, developing positions, and we have whole support teams that are there to support employers, but also support students with interview scheduling and offers and everything. So we're a rather large program, which I think has a ton of benefits in terms of the support that we're able to provide both to students and employers. So essentially, the co-op program is one of the most like structured ways of getting experience into your undergraduate degree. Rob was sort of talking about many different options that looks like, but co-op certainly is one of the larger, more structured ways that happens. So essentially, co-op alternates study terms and paid work terms. So it's essentially taking some time off of your studies, sort of term by term, to work full time. And so basically, what that means is, depending on the program that you're in, you could get about 16 months, 12 to 16 months of paid co-op work experience that's related to your field of study. And so it's a really great way of being able to take what you're learning in your courses, apply it to work, take all of that learning, go back to your courses, and then sort of flip flop between those two things. And again, another huge benefit of the co-op program is that the positions are full time, they're paid, and you'll see on the slide there the sort of range. So 17.20 being the minimum wage, and then it's not uncommon for positions to be paid quite a bit higher than that, around $35 an hour, depending on the program. We have a ton more information on our website as well. But I think the major point here is that the positions are paid and generally paid quite well. Perfect. So it's an integrated learning program with 3 or 4 mandatory work terms, depending on the program. So computer science and engineering have to do 4 mandatory work terms. Commerce, science, some of the other programs there generally have 3 work terms, and they're 4 months each. Like I mentioned, they're full-time paid employment opportunities. So this does mean that it lengthens the time that it takes to complete your degree a little bit. The way that I like to think about it is sort of like taking your first year postgraduate and sort of putting it into the middle of your degree, but with the added benefit of having a whole bunch of support and resources from our office to be able to help you prepare your application documents, support with interviews, and the job search, and also support while you're on your work term if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that. So yeah, we have a full team of individuals that are there to help you throughout your participation. We have an online prep course that we run, which basically goes through things like resume, cover letter, job search, all of that good stuff. And then we're there to support you through events and also one-on-one meetings as part of the job search process. And again, we check in with you while you're at work as well. So some of the advantages of co-op at Carleton. So again, it's an opportunity for you to apply your learning. So you're taking the stuff that you're learning and practicing in your courses and being able to apply that into the work that you're doing. Um, I think we're also well situated in the city that we live in, where there's a bunch of different opportunities in terms of employers and sectors, everything from high tech sectors to public institutions to community organizations. We're a rather large city, which I think offers us a lot of opportunity for that. But we're also close to other, opportunities in cities within the country and the province as well. So there's lots of different options that way, which provides some flexibility. It's a really great way of getting some Canadian work experience, and really applying the experience that you have from your courses and other experiences that you have in the Canadian context to sort of add on to sort of all of your skills as a whole, which is great. There are also some international options. The vast majority of postings you'll see on our co-op job board are for the Ottawa area, but there are some international ones as well. But in addition to the co-op job board, you're also able to secure your own position through what we call a self-directed job search, which is something we can support each student on as well. So some students take advantage of this to be able to, return to their home country or their home city to be able to work there, especially if you're looking to move around or move back. That's certainly something that's an option. And another advantage of co-op at Carleton is we have longer work terms. So often students will start with a 4-month work term to start, and then we'll sort of go back to their studies, and then they'll do some version of a longer work term, so 12 or 16 months. And what's really advantageous about this is a lot of employers will say they really want to hire students for longer terms, because by the time the training period is sort of done, 4 months is almost past. So it really does allow you to get involved in these longer term projects over a year or 16 months, and really get sort of the full life cycle of whatever project or initiative that you've been hired to do. Of course, you could choose to do one work term for all of those 12 or 16 months, depending on your program and what the sort of schedule is, or you could choose to break that up into smaller chunks as well. So there's a lot of inherent flexibility in that as well. Cool. So some other advantages, we have an extensive employer database, and we have a full team of business development coordinators whose job it is to go out and maintain and expand this database based off of the students that we have and sort of what they're looking for. Co-op also really helps you to explore different career options. So there's lots of folks who come into the co-op program who are, say, in a specific degree, but not necessarily sure the type of job or the type of employer that they're interested in working for. So co-op really allows you to try something on for 4 months or 8 months, something like that, and sort of figure out, is this something I like? Do I want to do more of this? Or what have I learned about myself and sort of the criteria I'm looking for that I can use to sort of switch that for a future work term. So it's a really good way of trying things on practically, because sometimes we might have an idea of some of the things we're interested in, but we don't always know for sure until we try it. So it's a really great opportunity for that. Like I mentioned, because the co-op positions are paid, it's a really great way of reducing student debt. And if you complete the 3 or 4 work terms required for your degree, you would also receive the co-op designation on your degree as well, which is a nice way of sort of signifying that you've gone through this co-op process right on your degree title. Cool. And here's just a brief sample of some of the employers that we have on our co-op database and have worked with for many years. And again, you'll see some variety here, everything from accounting firms to more high tech sort of stuff. This is by no means an exhaustive list. This is a very, very small snapshot of the employers that we work with. But we wanted to highlight some of the some of the bigger ones that we've worked with over the course of many years. Awesome. So now I'm very happy to turn things over to Anushri. Like Rob mentioned, she's a previous co-op student of ours, and she's very kindly agreed to share some of her experiences.
Thank you, Kevin. Hi, everyone. My name is Anushri. I'm an international student from India. I completed my undergrad from Carleton in law with a concentration in business law. And as part of my program, I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to complete 3 co-op terms, which has been an amazing experience. And I would urge everyone to go for a co-op if they can. I completed 2 work terms at the co-op office at Carleton. I was working on a lot of different projects, mostly administrative work. I was at the front desk answering phone calls and emails. I was helping out students and employers, and I was working on a lot of different projects here and there. So a lot of different experience. And my last co-op term was with Public Health Agency of Canada, which is a government department, and I was working as a policy analyst. So more policy development work. I was researching, analyzing the information, and helping develop the policies for the government. Um, my uh, like Kevin mentioned, you either have the opportunity to complete all co-op terms with one employer, or you can split them up and work with different employers. I would really, really recommend working with different employers if you can. It helps you, gives you the exposure you need, helps you understand what you're interested in and what you would like to do after you graduate or 5 years down the line. Another advantage of co-op is that you get to apply not your theoretical knowledge and skills gained in classroom to a work environment, and also at the same time gain practical experience and skills that will help you secure a very good job after you graduate. Um, my co-op experience has been amazing. I got an opportunity to work on different projects. Like I mentioned, worked with different employers, worked on different things. I gained a variety of skills and experience that helped me land a job at the Canada Revenue Agency after I graduated. And my current position, I'm working as a project officer as part of a special project team, enhancing the leadership capacity within the government, and it's an amazing experience. I love it. I do a lot of research, analyzing, admin work. So my recommendation would be when you get into co-op, don't be picky. Just go with anything you get. Every experience is helpful. You never know when that experience might come in handy. So just to sum up some of the advantages I got from co-op, you gain skills, you gain experience. Networking is also a good advantage of co-op. You meet people, you learn from them, and that networking helps you move up the ladder in the future. And well, it's a paid experience, so that's amazing. It helped me pay off my rent, my loans, and everything. So yeah, overall, I would say it's an amazing experience. Do go for co-op if you can. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Anushri. And it's always great to hear from senior students who and previous students who have been so successful, and to sort of see the progression. And I couldn't have said it better myself in terms of some of the tips and strategies to, increase your success in the program. We do have a couple of slides from some other previous co-op students to go through. So Aritika is a student who completed work terms at Ericsson, which is, again, one of our large employers, is sort of in the high tech sector. And the employer mentioned that within 1 month of working with Ritika, we knew that we absolutely needed her back in the company. And so it's really great to see, especially the impression that she was able to make within a month that really stood out to this employer, which really, I think, allows for further development in the student, and then sort of bringing her back for future work terms and also for employment. And she now works as a full-time developer with the company, which is amazing. And the next one is Sarita. And so she got to learn something new every day, which was challenging but rewarding at the same time. So she completed 4 different co-op work terms within science disciplines, so a mix of lab and research and a bunch of different things. And she's currently working as a research technician at the Ottawa Hospital Research Institute. And I believe she was also nominated in one of our Co-op Student of the Year awards, which was amazing. And so again, I think sometimes going into the co-op program, you're not always sure, where it's going to take you and what that's going to look like. But from all of our experiences, you can really see the impact that you can have and everything that you can learn as part of it. And it has, a rather large impact in your own career progression as well. Great. So I'll turn it back over to Rob. Oh, sorry. One last slide on my end. So for career services, so in our department, we have the co-op program and also career services in the same department. And the really good thing is the career services is here to support all students at Carleton and also alumni as well. And so they provide very similar supports and resources for all students. So job search, networking, resume, interviews, volunteer opportunities, and career planning and job boards and career fairs. And so there's a ton of different supports available for all students. So like I mentioned, co-op is sort of the largest, most structured way of getting experience, but career services sort of fills in all of those other gaps for part-time work and summer work, post-grad work, the what do I want to do with my life sort of questions as well. So they're an invaluable resource for that. And similarly, a program that's being run out of career services is the International Student Employment Program, which is very exciting and a new program that's come into fruition recently. So it's a program designed specifically for international students that has paid placements on campus and in the community. Generally, how it works is once you apply to the program, you're registered in a resource hub where you complete some online modules that are specifically related to things like Canadian hiring processes, how to make a resume, how to interview and transition into the Canadian workplace. You get career assistance with job search strategies and applications and interviews. And then you also get access to a co-op job, or not a co-op job board, but a job board for the international students within the program, where you get to apply to different positions and then go through the interview process and everything like that. So it is a really great way of building specific experience, and with the support of employers and everyone knowing that maybe this is your first Canadian experience, maybe it's not, but there's different resources and support available to help you in that transition, which is great. Perfect. Now I'll throw it over to Rob.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I loved all of that. I think there's a lot of value in what we learned from both Anushri and Kevin. One thing that stood out to me, I think, is the importance of trying different professional contexts. And when you do these different co-op terms in different organizations, as Anushri suggested as a good strategy, I think you benefit from learning about different types of work that you might find more interesting than others. And it really helps you sort of direct your studies, perhaps, and also what you thought you might do post-graduation as well. And of course, the ISEP program is quite exciting. I think this is the first of its kind in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. So really nice way to get experience and to earn a little bit of money while you're working as an international student in Canada. Beyond all the things we've talked about already, there are a few others that I'll highlight very quickly. including international internship program where students can study abroad at different institutions around the world to get an international experience. The Act to Employ program allows students with disabilities to be able to enter the workforce. I mentioned earlier the undergraduate research funding that's available at Carleton, quite a unique offering, and some students really benefit from being able to build that deep research right from their bachelor's degree. We partner with universities all over the world, and so you can potentially do an exchange where you could study and live in another country and have those courses seamlessly applied towards your Carleton degree. And then beyond that, as we've learned a little bit already, Carleton's got just a wonderful, beautiful campus community. It's a really big green park-like space that has many different experiences beyond the classroom, including clubs and societies where you can have fun, connect with other students, but also gain leadership skills that are valuable to the world of work as well. So organization skills, management, managing a budget, all of those things as well add a lot of value. So my advice to you guys, take advantage of all of these different resources, programs, and experiences because you'll have fun, you'll connect with other students, and of course, you'll prepare yourself for the world of work post-graduation as well. That concludes this topic. There's a lot more to talk about, and we can delve into that at the back end when we have our student panel session. Thank you guys so much.